Hey you, do you want to learn some stuff about doors? Well, this is the perfect video for you. This is the Doors Ultimate Iceberg Analysis. I hope you enjoy this video. Doors is a multiplayer Roblox horror game inspired by Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion and Nico Rock's 5555's rooms, co-developed by Lightning Splash and Red Bull's QW. It is centralized around traveling through rooms with various entities encountered along the way. Layer 1, extremely well known. Most players should know these things even if they've never played Doors before. Rush. Rush is most likely the first entity a player will encounter in Doors, usually appearing around 10 doors in. Rush will make his presence known to the player by making the lights flicker in the player's current room. The lights flickering may sometimes be the wait. After the lights are done flickering, Rush will rush through the rooms before disappearing. Lights flickering. The most notable instance of lights being able to flicker is within the rooms leading up to the seek chase. Lights being able to flicker can also happen at random, with lights being able to flicker a few rooms after the seek chase is, and a few rooms after door 50. Pre-run shop. The name is pretty self-explanatory. It's the shop before the run starts. It currently has 4 items and 3 unused ones. Let's talk about the 4 used ones first. The lighter costs 50 knobs and has 100% fuel. The flashlight can be purchased for 100 knobs and has 50% battery. 2 lockpicks can be purchased for 50 knobs, and 3 vitamins can be purchased for 100 knobs. Now let's talk about the unused items. The scanner could be purchased for an unknown amount of knobs, but it was planned to be very expensive. The crucifix could most likely be purchased for a whopping 300 knobs. The skeleton key could be purchased for an unknown amount of knobs. Closets. Closets are one of the 3 things the player can hide in. Closets are also the main type of hiding spot, appearing in the majority of rooms. Closets are also an area where the entity Hide resides. Closets are also the main way of surviving the entities Rush and Ambush. Keys. Keys only appear in locked rooms, being the item that players need to hunt for to open the locked door. If the player has a lockpick, the player doesn't have to hunt for the key entirely. Drawers. Drawers are the main source of items in Doors. They have 3 drawers, all having different items inside. These items can include lighters, flashlights, coins, and gold bars. Gold. Gold is the currency you use to buy items in the mid-run shop. Gold is able to be found in drawers and sometimes on top of them. Once the game is completed, they will convert into knobs. 20 gold equals 1 knob. Badges. Badges are earned by doing specific things like crucifying Rush, using the crucifix, beating the game, etc. The reception. I don't know what this entry is specifically talking about here, but it may have to do with the reception room or the amazing reception Doors has as a Roblox game. So let's talk about the reception room first. The reception room is the first room of the game, being a locked room. This room teaches the player how to interact and crouch. This room also teaches the player how some rooms can be locked. Now it's time to talk about the amazing reception of Doors. Doors has got an amazing reception in the Roblox community. There are little to no videos about Doors being a bad game. The only bad part about Doors, in my opinion, is that the community is absolutely cluttered with children due to the game being so popular. Elevators. The elevator is an area of the reception room, also being where the pre-run shop takes place. There are a total of 4 elevators in the game, 3 in the reception room and 1 at door 100. Layer 2, widely known. This layer contains information that the majority of Doors players know. Codes. Codes are codes that can be used to get knobs or even revives. Knobs. Knobs are the main currency in the pre-run shop. Knobs are also 2 times as valuable as gold. Screech. Screech is one of the many entities that reside within the hotel, appearing mainly in dark rooms. Screech will make his presence known to the player by making the famous psst sound. The player will need to look at Screech in order to survive it. If they don't, Screech will take 40% of the player's health. Screech is also a widely hated entity in the Doors community, at one point being the most hated entity in the game before A90 got added in the Hotel Plus update. Guiding light. The guiding light is currently the only entity within doors that doesn't have the intent to kill the player. Guiding light will only appear after you die, giving hints about the monster the player died to. Psst, psst is the sound Screech makes to make his presence known to the player. This sound has become a huge meme within the Doors community for no apparent reason. Lighter. The lighter is a light source that lowers the chance of Screech spawning in dark rooms. The lighter can be found in drawers and in the pre-run shop and in Jeff's shop, costing 50 knobs in the pre-run shop and 150 gold in Jeff's shop. Flashlight. The flashlight is a much rarer light source than the lighter, which we previously talked about. Being almost impossible to get in drawers, the flashlight costs 100 knobs in the pre-run shop and 200 gold in Jeff's shop. Bandage. Bandages are only found in drawers when the player has less than 100% health, being the most common healing item in the game, healing only 15 HP. Doors Wiki. It's the official Doors fandom wiki. It is a wiki for, well, Doors. It helped me a ton with doing research for this iceberg. Mini library. The mini library is a now unused switch room indoors, being a little library with a hidden switch the player has to interact with to open the gate. It is currently unknown why the room went unused. Basement. Basement rooms are rooms with a locked gate, with a basement with a hidden switch the player has to interact with to open the locked gate. Rush and Ambush are next bots. This entry is talking about how Rush and Ambush looking like and behaving very similarly to next bots. The only difference is being that Rush and Ambush don't chase the player before the player gets out of view. Layer 3, well known. This layer contains stuff that is well known in the Doors community. Seek. Seek is an entity that resides within the hotel and may return in the 4.2 update. In the light flickering entry, we talked about the rooms flickering in the series of rooms leading up to the Seek chase. Together with the light flickering, eyes will cover the walls, becoming more and more eyes the closer they get to the room where Seek's chase will start. In the chase, Seek will chase the player in a series of rooms, having to crouch and quickly look left or right to find the door lit by the guiding light. There are 2 chases in the hotel, one going on for 5 rooms and one going on for 7 rooms. Figure. Figure is the main antagonist of Doors 401, appearing at door 50 and door 100, making the player need to solve a puzzle of some kind. Then they also mentioned that Figure is blind. Vitamins. Vitamins are a very useful item that give the player a speed boost when used. The vitamins also used to grant a healing effect, but this was sadly removed with no known reason why, possibly for balancing reasons or the developers just wanting to give the effect to the refreshing herb. Lockpicks. Lockpicks can be used to entirely skip locked rooms or can be used to enter the rooms if the player has a skeleton key. Lockpicks can be purchased for 50 knobs in the pre-run shop and 120 gold in Jeff's shop. Eyes. Eyes is one of the entities that reside within the hotel, being one of the easiest entities to survive. Eyes can be survived by just simply not looking at him or at the ground. If you do, Eyes will deal 10 damage per tick. Eyes can be quite a nuisance in locked rooms because of the player needing to look at drawers in order to survive him, and due to him sometimes being very close to certain drawers and the fact that his whispering is louder than the shining sound. Ambush. Ambush is basically Rush's big brother, being able to go much faster, currently being the fastest entity in the game. Ambush will make his presence known to the player by making a windy sound with a screaming in the background. Ambush will rebound 1 to 7 times, and due to Ambush appearing in the way game and thus hide kicking you out of the closet faster, the player will need to hop in and out of the closet to stay alive. Vents. Vents currently only appear in basement rooms, but they used to have an entire room dedicated to them, being the scrapped vent room, being scrapped due to it being buggy. I do like that decision because due to these rooms existing, if Rush appeared one room before a vent room, he would rebound, which isn't what Rush is supposed to do. Revives. Revives can be used from door 0 to door 89, resurrecting the player once they have died. Do keep in mind that revives can only be used once per run, with the only exception being if the player died within 50 seconds after using a revive, and has more revives. Hide. If you hide in a closet for long enough, hide will push you out of the closet, dealing 40 damage. The amount of time you can hide for decreases the further you get into the game. Also, the hide doesn't appear on door 50 and 100. Did I also mention this entity resides within the hotel? Rebounding Rush. In the events entry, we talked about Rush being able to rebound if a vent room is the next room. Well, that was the end of part 1 for this iceberg. I hope you enjoyed it.